He is the king. All right. It was the snub seen across the country. Elizabeth Warren appears to blow off Bernie Sanders' handshake, quickly followed by this testy exchange. Watch.
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
What?
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
Let's not do it right now. You want to have that discussion? We'll have that
Anytime.
discussion. You called me. You told me. All right, let's not do it now.
I don't want to get in the middle of it. I just want to say hi, Bernie.
Yeah, good. Okay.
So why did CNN release that audio? President Trump, of course, weighed in, tweeting in part, they're rigging the election against Bernie Sanders, just like last time, only even more obviously. Joining us now is the president of District Media Group and senior fellow at the Independent Women's Forum, Beverly Hallberg. Beverly, welcome.
Good morning.
So are they rigging it? Is that why this is happening? Tell us.
I think it's reasonable to ask the question because when you look at the timeline of events, what we do know is that CNN released an anonymously sourced report on Monday, making the claim that Bernie Sanders did say this in 2018. Then on Tuesday, on the debate stage, he was asked whether or not he ever said that a woman couldn't be president. He said vehemently that he never did say that. And then on Wednesday, we have the trickle effect of this audio being released of that very awkward and terse conversation between Warren and Sanders, followed by a lot of commentary on CNN about whether or not Bernie Sanders was sexist. So obviously, this is a very bad coverage for him, and it's all based on anonymous sourcing, and it's based on Elizabeth Warren, who, by the way, has lied about her race and also about her job opportunities, saying that she is the one who is telling the truth. So I think we could at least ask, is this fair reporting?
Right. If you watch the CNN coverage, it was almost exclusively, anti-Bernie in that, on that incident, and very much taking the side of Elizabeth Warren. It's the polls, by the way, in Iowa show that Bernie is up. He's up 20% since November. What do you think that has to do with Elizabeth Warren's timing and decision to do this on a quote unquote hot mic?
Well, I think this is more about Democrats wanting Joe Biden to do well in Iowa and do well in the caucuses, because what you saw from President Trump and that tweet you showed, and also what we saw from the minority leader Kevin McCarthy in the House, he said this earlier this week, that the reason why Nancy Pelosi has withheld the articles of impeachment as long as she did was to hopefully interfere with the Iowa election, trying to make it so Joe Biden was the one who could go on the campaign trail, while Bernie would be stuck in the Senate. So I really don't think this is much about Elizabeth Warren. I think this is about hurting Bernie, who has been doing very well in the polls, and Democrats coming together and saying the number one thing we need to do is to defeat Donald Trump, and Joe Biden is the best guy to do it.
Well, it's interesting. What does that do for the Democrats? Because obviously there's a lot of energy behind Bernie Sanders. There was a video recently of a now fired Bernie supporter or worker who said, we're going to burn down Milwaukee if it doesn't go Bernie's way. I mean, there's energy there. If they perceive that the system is being rigged against them again, what does that do to the Democrat Party going into an election?
Apparently, they didn't learn their lesson from 2016 because it was rigged against Bernie then in favor of Hillary Clinton. So I think this goes poorly for Democrats. But I do think that if this is what's taking place, I think really the foundation of it is that the progressives in the Democrat Party, of course, Bernie being one of them, too far left for many voters out there. And so Democrats, the establishment Democrats, know that the country is not that far progressive, at least at this point, that the Bernie Sanders type of campaign is more maybe 4 years, 5 years down the road, and not today. So I understand where the establishment is coming from, but they should learn from 2016.
All right. Well, any chaos on that side will probably help the Trump campaign. Well, we reached out to the Warren campaign. They declined to comment. Sanders' campaign has yet to respond to Fox's request for comment. Thank you so much for joining us, Beverly. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. They've been friends for a